What's up, guys? So I'm in my kitchen right now, obviously, and the camera is set up on my cabinet. So I had a little makeshift studio today, and let's get right into it. So the topic of today's video is don't be so rigid. Lose the feeling of needing rigid structure in your life, because sometimes you need to just live life. I actually made a video on this like 2 weeks ago called Go With The Flow, and that was all about just going where life takes you while still working hard and working towards your goals, right? So I just went on vacation. I was in South Carolina for 3 days, 4 days, 3 nights, 4 days. I was in South Carolina for 4 days and I did not have the best structure. I did not have good sleep schedule because we were visiting family and everything. So we were staying up till like 1:30, 2 a.m. in the morning. Everybody's just talking, having a good time. And then I got back to the hotel and now I have to go to sleep, right? But now I'm sleeping in until like 9:30, 10, 10:30, later, which is later than I've been sleeping for a long time. And I did not have the best structure. I did not have the best workout schedule. My body was not feeling well recovered from any workouts that I was doing over the last week. And I was also not eating the best. But you know what? I could have let that stress me out, but I didn't. I could have let that drive me insane, but I didn't. And the reason why is because I understood that this is family that I don't get to see too often. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to enjoy my time. And yes, would I have been a little bit more at ease if I was getting good workouts in, if I was going to bed at 10, 10:30, waking up at 7, 7:30? Yes, of course I would have, of course. But that you can't always expect everything to go perfectly. And I was actually just watching a Luke Hopkins video the other day. And actually it was last night on my way home on the plane. And he read a quote from Chris Williamson. And it was, the stress that you get from trying to be perfect will kill you more quickly than your imperfections ever will themselves. So we stress ourselves out trying to be perfect, trying to set everything up perfectly, trying to follow a schedule to a T, follow it perfectly to get everything done on time. But that's not what life is. Life doesn't always happen according to plan. Stuff does not always go to schedule. Our schedules can't be perfect. Our actions can't always be perfect. And yes, it's good to optimize for perfection, but when your standard is perfection, you will never be happy. Your standards need to be high, yes, but your standards cannot be, oh, my standard is everything is gonna go perfect, because that is not reality. It's just not reality. Like, things cannot always go perfectly scheduled, perfect to plan. They, sometimes life just happens and you need to just live life, and you need to adjust. Like, life is about adapting. I also just made a video that I posted a few days ago titled You Must Adapt. And you must adapt to anything that comes your way. You must adapt to life and the circumstances that happen. Like, you need to, life is all about adapting. A lot of people will say, humans plan, God laughs. And it's true. Right? We can plan all that we want, but in the end, God is going to lead us exactly where he wants. God is going to direct us. He's going to guide us, and God is he's going to inject certain things into our lives. And sometimes they might be really hard challenges, but we need to adapt to them, right? We need to just adapt, learn, get better, and keep moving forward. So sometimes it is a requirement for you not to be so rigid, because if you are just so rigid in your schedule to the point where everything needs to go perfect or else you're just going to be miserable, well, then you're going to be miserable regardless of if everything goes perfect or not. Because I will tell you, from somebody who tried to make everything perfect all the time, who didn't only optimize perfection but expected it, I would look back and regret chasing that perfection. I would look back and regret not always being present with family or with friends, because instead I was just thinking about being perfect, or I was going out and going to the gym for 3 hours, or making sure that I was eating really good and not having a good time at dinner because I was just miserable, thinking like, oh, this is so bad for me, this is not good, whatever. When I lost this sense of rigidness, I started to be more happier, live in the moment more, and just enjoy my time and have less regrets, because I was filled with regret from trying to be perfect, because I was either doing everything that I thought was going to give me perfect results, and then I was looking back regretting the way I was acting, or I was just not living in accordance with perfection and I was miserable. So either way, you pretty much lose. Like, you cannot win life that way. You can't. So yes, work hard. Yes, have high standards. Yes, set goals. Yes, be delusional. Yes, be disciplined. Yes, work as hard as you possibly can and live differently than others. But do not be so rigid to the point where it drives you insane, because I've been there. A lot of successful people have been there too. And I'm not saying I'm successful, but I'm saying a lot of successful people have also been there, to the point where they are so rigid in their structure. So they set these expectations that are only perfection, and they are miserable too, right? So you can't expect everything to go perfectly all the time, because it won't. And if you expect everything to go perfectly, you are going to drive yourself insane. So I guess all that I'm saying is kind of go with the flow, live life. Yes, work hard. Yes, yes, try to do all the right things. But sometimes you need to just let your guard down and you need to just live life, right? We can't always expect everything to go perfectly. But, if we can live life by living in accordance with about 75% of our plan, then we're all going to make progress. We're all going to move forward, right? The people who don't move forward are the people who just don't have a plan and don't get anything done. But if you're watching this, you probably have a plan. So if you can live in accordance with 75% of your plan, then you're just fine. You're just fine. So give yourself 25% to just relax and not have a rigid schedule and not have all this structure, and just let life live. Literally just let yourself live. Because there are seasons, right? This is what I'll end with. We also have seasons of life. We have seasons of vacation. We have seasons of spending time with family. We have seasons of being really strict with the gym. We have seasons of relaxation. We have seasons of really hard, disciplined work. We have seasons of perfect diets. We have seasons of loose diets, right? Everything in life has a season, okay? And this is what I think of a lot. I have a season where I am really, really disciplined, really, really locked in, no distractions at all. That's pretty much when I'm at school. This past year, it was when I was at school from the months of February until May. I was really, really disciplined, really working hard, really pushing myself, the hardest I've ever worked in my life. And then I came home for the summer, and I was still working hard, yes, but a little bit more relaxed, seeing more friends, seeing more family, right? Not having some really intense schedule every single day, and more so just living life while still working hard and working towards my goals, right? So that's just an example for you guys. Try not to have a crazy rigid schedule, because I've had it before and it has driven me insane. So have high expectations, but don't expect perfection. And sometimes you just gotta live life, and you still gotta work hard at the same time, right? So just keep working hard, keep living your lives, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.